Hello and welcome to another CBS presentation of the Comply Health and Safety Systems we've got at the moment. My name's Sam Wood and we've just gone through the basic start of the presentation folder where we show people about the flow chart and the basic things at the start of the policies, the procedures and guidelines portion of it. I'm now moving on to the forms section, and one of the really good parts, one of the good forms that we've got, we put right at the very beginning, is an action request form. An action request form is really quite a simple, basic tool that we find is very good for the businesses that actually listen to their staff, because their staff are the ones that are working in the business and are the ones that actually understand how the intricate sides of it work. And by the staff being able to make improvements, by actually making little suggestions that then the core duty officers, the operating staff, the people running the business actually address and look at, tends to make their business run significantly better. It also applies in so many different ways, whether it's how to improve the business or how to improve a safety situation. Fantastic little tool to have, something that I encourage every business to have in the form of have set out like this, but also have set out around your work environment in clipboards, so that people can easily write something down, because it's so simple to forget just a little thing and it not be addressed and just not be addressed. Having those things addressed and attended to creates a really good work environment. One of the other forms that we've got here is the Health and Safety Objectives Calendar. I mentioned in the previous video about the list of items that are to be addressed. Well, we've got them laid out here, but in a format that is acceptable to the likes of WorkSafe New Zealand. Something in a layout that they can easily see what each objective is that you've identified, the target date that you're going to be having it addressed by, or you'd like it addressed by, the actual achieved date, and then signed off by whoever achieved that certain objective within the calendar year and what you had worked towards. So having that laid out in such a way that they can see that there is a progress of improvement, that you're planning this, and whether the target date was achieved or not doesn't really matter, because you might have achieved it prior to the target date or after. What they want to see is that you've got a date to work to and that it's approximate and you're working around it and it's achievable. So this is how they like to see it laid out. Here we have a health and safety program. So again, it's similar to the objectives, but it's more detailed in how you operate on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, 6-monthly and annual basis. So for instance, this one here, we've got, this is set out for a high risk environment, more like a builder, but so many of these points actually apply to a large number of businesses within New Zealand. First of all, there's lots of toolbox meetings, and they can come in a variety of different forms. Vehicle checks, PPE reviews, so personal protective equipment, recording hazards, recording incidences and maintenance. Having maintenance working also on a weekly basis, it might be something within your business you want to have addressed regularly there. Monthly, you have your health and safety monthly meetings. With those, that is effectively mandatory for a high risk environment, so that you address the issues that have been dealt with along and keep everyone informed and educated. Quarterly, we've got testing and tagging on here. Might not necessarily, or definitely won't apply in a office environment, but for high wear situations like a building site where there are drills and cords and extension cords all around the place, you need those things tagged on a quarterly basis. But your authorised person that does the testing and tagging within your area will know what items need to be based on either a quarterly basis, a annual basis, or 5-yearly basis. So it's easy enough to get that done. What we'll see later on is how that gets filled in, and we've got a form for that so that you can identify where those are going to be. 6 monthly is your emergency drills. Well, that at the moment we understand it is just the fire. It's a mandatory requirement for every business to have a fire drill every 6 months, and what they wanted to see here is that it is actually recorded and detailed on within your health and safety system so that it's accessible by a WorkSafe officer, and that everyone is aware of how to behave in a fire situation. Christchurch may want to work a little bit more with the earthquake side of things and a couple of other ones, but we'll see that as we go on. So having it laid out in this format is really quite good, because it means that you can have it like in your office, and it's just a point, oh, we must be addressing that this month or that month or next week or today. Great. And it's just a little good way to have it in a prompt and laid out. The next step, these here, which are the two of the document registers. This document register here is mainly based for where we would see you listing your MSD sheets. Now, an MSD means material safety data. A material safety data sheet must be supplied by every supplier for every liquid or product that can be effectively consumed or affect people. So by that, it could be anything from sunlight liquid to paint, terps to petrol. Just like a GST receipt, suppliers are required now to be able to offer a MSD sheet as they offer a GST receipt. So what you do is you list those here. You also have them in an electronic format, and I would encourage you to have them in a hard copy as well. Well, you'll see the importance of having those later on once we get to the likes of the notifiable incidences, so that when those products are used in a sort of situation or in a notifiable incident, you could know how to address that product and work with it, and then send it to the likes of WorkSafe and the hospital, or prior to the person getting to the hospital, so that the hospital knows what products they've been affected by, whether it's a rash or it's been induced in your eyes. They know how to behave with that certain product. The other register we've got here is for safe operating procedures. Our safe operating procedures I've got in the next section of the displayed manual here. A safe operating procedure is how you operate a piece of equipment, what you wear in the form of the PPE, and all the things about it. And those are signed off by the PCBU biannually, and also all staff that have signed off on it biannually as well. So what we're going to do next of all in the next video is we're going to start addressing sections in the HR part of it, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.